Hello friends, myself Dr. Sudha Tripathi. Welcome to my channel Indian Homeo. Our today's topic is diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus, which is commonly called as diabetes, is a metabolic disorder characterized by high blood sugar level over the prolonged period of time. In conventional medicine, there is no cure for diabetes. Instead, only management of the condition is possible. Whereas, the homeopathy medicines aim to boost the individual's immune system, thereby strengthening the body itself to manage the disease condition. Before we proceed to understand the role of homeopathy medicine, let's see what exactly happens in diabetes. Basically, in diabetes mellitus, body prevents properly using the energy from the food we eat. Diabetes can occur in following two situations. The first condition is when the pancreas produces little insulin or no insulin at all. Insulin is a naturally occurring hormone produced by the beta cells of pancreas, which helps the body use the sugar for energy. And in second condition, the pancreas make insulin, but the insulin made doesn't work as it should. This condition is called insulin resistance. Our body is made up of millions of cells. To make energy, cells need food in a very simple form. When we eat or drink something, our complex food material is broken down into simple sugar called glucose. Glucose provides the energy our body needs for daily activities. Once the food is broken in the stomach in simple sugar, it gets absorbed by stomach and intestine. Then it enters the bloodstream. It travels through the circulation to all body cells. Once absorbed in the bloodstream, the glucose circulates, causing the blood sugar level to rise. This increased blood sugar level sends signal to the pancreas, which responds by secreting the hormone insulin in the circulation. Insulin is necessary to reach and be used by several important target tissues throughout the body. This includes liver, muscle, and adipose tissue. Insulin is necessary to keep glucose levels stable in the body. Let's see the classification of diabetes. As per conventional medicine, diabetes is classified into two main types. First is type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes occurs due to destruction of beta cells of pancreas. These are the cells which produce insulin. In this type of diabetes, pancreas makes very little or no insulin. So, sugar can't get into the body's cell for use as energy. Type 1 diabetes is a common form of diabetes occurring in people who are under age 30, but it can also occur at any age. People with this type of diabetes use insulin injection to control blood sugar level. Second type of diabetes is type 2 diabetes. In this type of diabetes, insulin is produced but it doesn't work properly. 9 out of 10 people with diabetes have type 2 type of diabetes. The type 2 diabetes may sometimes be controlled with a combination of diet, weight management, and exercise. Other than type 1 and type 2 diabetes, there are also other types of diabetes, like gestational diabetes. High blood glucose level during pregnancy is termed as gestational diabetes. As the pregnancy progresses, the developing baby has a greater need for glucose. Hormone changes during pregnancy also affects the action of insulin, which brings high blood glucose level. Pregnant women who have a greater risk of developing gestational diabetes include those who are above 35 years old, overweight, when there is family history of diabetes, and women with history of PCOS. Generally, gestational diabetes, the blood glucose level return to normal after the childbirth. However, women with gestational diabetes have increased risk of type 2 diabetes in later life. Other type of diabetes is latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood. Like type 1 diabetes, latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood occurs when body stops producing enough insulin. But unlike type 1, the signs and symptoms are produced at much slower rate. Neonate diabetes mellitus is diagnosed very early in infants, anywhere from birth to 6 months old. The condition can be temporary and disappear later, called transient neonatal diabetes mellitus, or it can be permanent neonate diabetes mellitus. Let's understand the causes of different types of diabetes. Cause of type 1 diabetes. This occurs when the immune system, which is the body's system for fighting infection, attacks and destroys the insulin-producing beta cells of pancreas, resulting in decreased production of insulin. Cause of type 2 diabetes. This type of diabetes develops when the body becomes resistant to insulin or when the pancreas is unable to produce enough insulin. Exactly why this happens is unknown, although genetic and environmental factors such as being overweight and inactive, smoking, unhealthy eating habits seem to be the contributing factors. Let's understand the cause of gestational diabetes. During pregnancy, placenta makes hormones that causes glucose to build up in the blood. Usually, mother's pancreas can send enough insulin to handle it. But if body can't make enough insulin or stops using insulin like it should, the blood glucose level rises and the mother gets gestational diabetes. Latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood happens because body makes antibodies that cause the immune system to attack the insulin making cells of pancreas. As the ability of cells to make insulin is lost, body can no longer control the sugar level. As mentioned earlier, unlike type 1 diabetes, symptoms get worse slowly. Maturity onset diabetes of the young usually shows up in adolescent or young adult. It's caused by changes in genes called mutation that affects how well body makes insulin. If enough insulin is not made, the blood sugar level goes up. Let's see the symptoms of diabetes mellitus. Although many symptoms of type 1 and type 2 diabetes are similar, they present in a very different ways. Many people with type 2 diabetes won't have symptoms for many years, whereas in type 1 diabetes, the onset of symptoms can be very sudden. Symptoms of type 1 diabetes. Due to damaged beta cells, there is high blood sugar level, which produces symptoms such as dehydration. When there is extra sugar in the blood, the body tries to get rid of it by increasing the frequency of urination. A large amount of water goes out with urine, causing body to dehydrate. Second symptom is weight loss. The glucose that goes out with urine takes calories with it. That is why many people with high blood sugar lose weight. Diabetic ketoacidosis. If body can't get enough glucose for fuel, it breaks down fat cells instead. This creates chemicals called as ketones. Liver releases the sugar it stores to help out, but body can't use it without insulin. So it builds up in the blood along with acidic ketone. This mix-up of extra glucose, dehydration and acid built-up is known as ketoacidosis. Common symptoms of type 2 diabetes includes frequent urination, increased thirst, increased hunger in spite of having proper meals, extreme fatigue even though having good diet, weight loss without trying, tingling pain or numbness in hands or feet. This is often seen in type 2 diabetes. Yeast infections that keep coming back, wounds that generally take time to heal. Dark rashes around neck or armpit is also seen, which are often sign of insulin resistance. These rashes are called as acanthosis nigricans. Let's see the approach of homeopathy in treatment of diabetes. Treatment of diabetes in conventional medicine may include insulin and an oral drug along with diet and exercise, whereas in homeopathy, the approach is very different. Human body has a proper metabolic process to balance the blood sugar level with the help of insulin. Now we know that our body uses sugar for energy. So while treating a diabetic patient, we need to understand what was the situation in patient's life where he or she required more energy, which led to store glucose in the blood. The emotional cause considered in diabetes is the resistance conflict. Means when there is a strong opposition against a person like parent, sibling, relative, teacher or doctor, against a situation like at work, school or in any relationship, when there is a strong resistance against an institution like school, church or hospital, or when a person has been forced to do against one's will. Children experience conflict when they resist daycare or school, or when they very strongly oppose what they are told to do so. Here the purpose of storing more glucose in the blood is to prepare the individual, particularly the muscles, to fight with the full force, to resolve the conflict or to face the situation. Hence, in homeopathy, unlike conventional medicine, by considering the emotional cause, patient sensitivity and the totality of symptoms, the medicine is prescribed.